everyone!
I'm Groot.
Uh-huh.
I'm Groot.
No! Showtime, a-holes! Nobody has any tape! Not a single person has tape! Wasting a lot of time! That's a really bad sign.
Touch someone, I can feel their feelings.
Selfish love for just about everybody.
No, sexual love.
No?
Hello everyone, today I am going to review the movie Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This movie is a fun, emotional and action-packed adventure. The story starts with Peter Quill and his team, the Guardians, doing a mission in space. The team includes Gamora, Drax, Rocket and Groot. This time little baby Groot is one of the most cute and funny parts of the movie. After a dangerous battle, the team meets a powerful man named Ego. He tells Peter Quill that he is Peter's father. Peter is very happy because he finally gets a chance to know the truth about his family. So Peter, along with Gamora and Drax, travels to Ego's planet. At the same time, Rocket creates problems after stealing valuable materials from a powerful race called the Sovereign. Because of this mistake, many enemies start chasing the Guardians across space. This leads to several exciting action scenes and funny moments. One thing I really liked about this movie is the friendship between the character. Every member of the team gets some important moments. The movie is only about action but also about family trust and relationship. The comedy is simple and enjoyable and Baby Groot makes many scenes very entertaining. As the story moves forward, Peter Quill starts spending more time with Ego. Shows him amazing powers and teaches him things that Peter never knew before. Peter is surprised to learn that he has special abilities because of his father. For the first time in their life, Peter feels that he truly belongs somewhere. Meanwhile, Gamora begins to feel that something is not right about Ego. She notice strange things on the planet and starts asking questions. Her doubts becomes stronger when he discovers secrets that Ego does not want anyone to know. One the other side, Nebula appears again. She is the sister of Gamora, and their relationship is still full of anger and pain. The movie spends a lot of time showing why Nebula hates Gamora so much. These scenes add emotional depth to the story and helps us understand both characters better. At the same time, Rocket, Baby Groot, and Yondu find themselves in serious trouble. Yondu's own crew turns against him and takes control of his ship. This creates a dangerous situation where Rocket and Yondu must work together to survive. The friendship between Rocket and Yondu becomes one of the most interesting parts of the movie. Both characters act though, but deep inside they feel lonely. Through their conversations, we learn that they are more similar than they think. These moments are emotional but also very meaningful. One of the funniest parts of the movie comes from Baby Groot. Even during serious situations, Groot keeps creating funny moments. His innocent behavior makes the audience smile again and again. Many viewers consider Baby Groot the heart of his movie. As the danger grows, the Guardians slowly realize that a much bigger threat is coming. The truth about ego starts coming out, and it becomes clear that not everything is as perfect as it first seemed. The movie begins to change from a fun adventure into a story filled with mystery, emotion, and shocking revelation. This part of the film keeps the audience interested because every new scene reveals something important. The visuals are beautiful, the music is excellent, and the balance between action, comedy, and emotional is handled very well. Now the movie reaches one of its most important parts. While exploring Eo's planet, Peter Quill becomes more excited about his new powers. Ego show him how to control energy and create amazing things. Peter enjoys this experience because he has always wanted to know where he came from. For a short time, it feels like he has finally found the family he was missing. However, everything changes when Ego reveals a shocking truth. He explains his real plan and the reason he brought Peter to planet. This moment completely changes the story. Peter realizes that the person he trusted the most may actually be the biggest danger in the entire galaxy. The truth is coming surprising that Peter becomes angry and heartbroken. All the dreams he had about meeting his father suddenly starts falling apart. The movie does a great job showing Peter's emotion. The audience can feel his disappointed pain and confusion. At the same time, Gamora and Nebula continue dealing with their past. For years, they have seen each other as enemies. They blame each other for many painful memories. During a emotional conversation, Nebula family talks about the suffering she experienced while growing up. These scenes are very important because they show that the movie is not only about fighting villains, it is also about family problems, forgiveness, and understanding each other. The relationship between Gamora and Nebula becomes much deeper, and both characters get strong character development. Meanwhile, Yondu, Rocket, and Baby Groot are still trying to escape from danger. Their journey is full of action and funny moments. Yondu uses his famous flying arrow in several exciting scenes. Every time the arrow moves through the air, it creates thrilling action sequences that look amazing on screen. One of the best things about this part of the movie is how it develops Yundu's character. In the first movie, many people saw him as a raw and selfish person, but now we start learning more about his past and his connection with Peter. The film slowly reveals that Yundu may care about Peter much more than anyone expected. At the same time, Groot, Baby Groot gets a important mission. Even though he is small, he tries his best to help the team. The scene involving Groot are both funny and ab- adorable. His innocence brings light moments during some very serious situation. As the story moves closer to the climax, the danger becomes bigger and bigger. The Guardians understand that if they fail, countless lives could be at risk. Every member of the team must work together, put aside their differences and prepare for a battle that could decide the future of the galaxy. The tension continues to rise, the action becomes larger, and the emotional stakes become higher. At this point, the movie successfully makes the audience laugh, feel emotional, and stay excited about what will happen next. The stage is now set for the final battle, where friendship will be tested, secrets will exposed, and difficult choices will have to be made. Now the movie enters its final and most exciting phase. After learning the truth about ego, Peter Quill understands that the entire galaxy is in danger. Ego is not just a father looking for his son, he has a much larger plan that could destroy countless worlds. Peter, Peter realizes that he must stop ego even if it means fighting against his own father. Soon Hayek battle beings on Ego's planet. The Guardians gather together and prepare for the fight. Gamora, Nebula, Rex, Rocket, Yondu, and Baby Groot all play important roles in the mission. Every character gets a chance to shine, which makes the action scene even more enjoyable. One thing I really like during this part of the movie is teamwork. No single hero can win alone. Each guardian has different strength and they must combine their abilities to defeat the enemy. This message about friendship and teamwork is one of the strongest parts of the film. The action sequence become bigger and more spectacular than anything seen earlier in the movie, exposing fill the screen, spaceships race through dangerous areas, and powerful and energy attacks create amazing visuals. Even during these intense moments, the movie still finds time of comedy, which keeps the experience fun. Meanwhile, Baby Groot receives a very important task because he is small. He can go to palace where other cannot. Watching Groot try to complete his mission creates several funny scenes. His mistakes make the audience laugh, but they also show how brave he is despite being tiny. Another emotional part of the movie focuses on Yondu. Throughout the story, we have learned more about his relationship with Peter Quill. The film slowly reveals that Yondu has always cared about Peter in his own way. These moments add a lot of heart of the story and make Yondu one of the most memorable characters in the movie. At the same time, Nebula and Gamora continue repairing their broken relationship. For many years, they were enemies because of their painful past. During the final events of the movie, they being to understand each other better. Their conversational feel real and emotional, making their character journey very satisfying. As the battle continues, Peter must make difficult decisions. He is forced to choose between power and family, between selfish desires and doing what is right. These choices help him grow as a character and become a true hero. The climax is filled with excitement, emotion, and powerful moments. The audience watches as the Guardians risk everything to save innocent people. The stakes have never been higher, and every second feels important. What makes this final act special is that it balances action and emotional perfectly. Many superhero movies focus only on fights, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 also focuses on family, friendship, and personal growth. Because of this, the movie feels meaningful and not just entertaining. As the battle reaches its final moment, the audience knows that some lives may never be the same again. The Guardians are fighting not only for the galaxy but also for the people they love. This creates a strong emotional connection and keeps viewer completely invested in the story. The final outcome of the battle brings both victory and sadness. Some moments make the audience cheer, while others may even bring tears to their eyes. It is a powerful ending that stays in the mind long after the movie is over. After the final battle, the movie slows down and gives the audience time to feel the impact of everything that has happened. The Guardians may have won the fight, but they have also gone through many emotional experiences that changed them forever. One of the most touching parts of the movie comes from Peter Quill and Yondu. Throughout the film, Peter spent a lot of time thinking about his real father and wondering what kind of person he was. He believed that finding his father would complete a missing part of his life. However, by the end of the story, Peter learns as an important lesson. Family is not always about blood. Sometimes the people who truly care for us, protect us, and support us are the ones who become our real family. This message is one of the strongest themes of the entire movie. The emotional scenes involving Yondu are handled very well. They are simple, powerful, and easy to understand. These moments help the audience see Yondu in a completely different way. A character who once looked like a though space criminal now feels much more human and caring. Meanwhile, Gamora and Nebula finally make progress in their relationship. Their journey throughout the movie is one of pain, anger, and understanding instead of continuing to hate each other. They begin to accept their shared past and move forward. This character development makes both sisters much more interesting. Rocket also experienced important growth during the movie. At the beginning, he often pushes people away and it hides his feeling behind jokes and rude behavior. By the end, he starts to understand the value of friendship and trust. These changes make Rocket feel like a normal, complete character. Of course, baby Groot continues to bring smiles to the audience. Even in emotional scene, Groot Innocence helps balance the mood. Many viewers consider Groot one of the biggest highlights of the film because he is both funny and lovable. The soundtrack is another major reason why this movie is so enjoyable. Just like the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Volume 2 uses classic songs that fit perfectly with the scene. The music adds energy, emotion, and personality to the story. Many scenes become even more memorable because of the songs playing in the background. The visuals are also excellent. The planets, spaceships, creatures, and colorful environments look beautiful on screen. The movie creates a galaxy that feels larger, creative, and full of wonder. Every location has its own unique style, which keeps the adventure fresh and exciting. Another thing I liked is how the movie balances different emotions. One moment the audience is laughing at a joke, and the next moment they are watching an emotional conversation. This balance is difficult to achieve, but the film handles it very successfully. When talking about action, the movie delivers plenty of exciting moments. The battles are creative, fast, and entertaining. As a review, I would say that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is more emotional than the first movie. While the first film focused mainly on introducing the film, this movie spends more time exploring the characters, their past, and their relationship. Because of this, the story feels deeper and more personal. The movie teaches valuable lessons about family, friendship, trust, sacrifice, and forgiveness. These themes make the film meaningful while still being fun and entertaining. Overall, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a fantastic superhero adventure with great action, strong emotions, memorable characters, beautiful visuals, and an amazing soundtrack. It is a movie that can make you laugh, feel emotional, and stay engaged from beginning to end. For me, this movie is not just about saving the galaxy, it is about finding where you belong, understanding the people who care about you, and learning what true family really means. So, after watching Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I can say that this movie is much more than a normal superhero film. It is a story about family, friendship, love, trust, and finding your place in the world. For the very beginning, the movie keeps the audience entertained. The opening scene are fun, the characters are interesting, and the humor works very well. Unlike many action movies that focus only on battles, this film spends time developing its character and showing their emotions. One of the biggest strengths of the movie is its characters. Peter Quill goes through a emotional journey and learns important trust about himself. Gamora becomes stronger and continues to prove why she is one of the most important members of the team. Nebula receives much more attention than before, and her story becomes one of the most emotional parts of the film. At the same time, Rocket shows that even someone who acts through can have deep feeling inside. His character growth is impressive, and many viewers may relate to his struggles. Then there is Yondu. Before this movie, some people saw him as a supporting character, but by the end of Volume 2, he becomes one of the most memorable and beloved characters in the entire story. His journey adds a lot of emotion and meaning to the film, and of course, we cannot forget baby Groot. Every time Groot appears on screen, he brings energy and fun. His cute accents and funny moments make him one of the biggest reason why audience enjoy the movie so much. The direction of the movie is excellent. The story moves smoothly from comedy to action, and then to emotional scene without feeling confusing. The pacing is generally good, and there is always something interesting happening. The visual effects are fantastic. The movie presents colorful planets, creative creatures and beautiful space environments. Everything feels large, exciting, and imaginative. Watching it on a big screen makes the experience even better. The soundtrack deserves special praise. The songs are not just background music, they become part of the movie identity. May scene feel more powerful because of the music. Even after the movie ends, several songs remains in the audience mind. If I talk about weakness, some viewers may feel that the movie spends a little more time on emotions and character relationship than one the main plot. A few scenes are slower compared to the action heavy moments. However, these scenes are important because they help build the emotion connection between the audience and the characters. What I personally liked most is that the movie has had many superhero films have action, but not all of them make the audience care deeply about the characters. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 succeeds because it makes a laugh with the characters, cry with the characters, and celebrate their victories. The film also delivers an important message. Real family is not always the people you are born with. Real family can be the people who stand beside you, support you, and care about you during difficult times. This message makes the story feel meaningful and relatable. In conclusion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a wonderful mix of action, comedy, adventure, emotion, and heart. It expands of it expands the Guardians universe while giving every major character a chance to grow and shine. My final rating of this movie would be 9 out of 10. If you enjoy superhero movies with strong characters, emotional moments, great music, and exciting space adventures, then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is definitely worth watching. Before ending my review, I also want to talk about why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 feels different from many other superhero movies. Most superhero films focus mainly on saving the world or defeating a villain. This movie does have a powerful villain and a big threat, but its real focus is on the characters and their relationship. Because of this, the audience becomes emotional connected to the story. One thing that makes the movie special is the chemistry between the guardians. Even member of the team has a difficult personality. Peter Quill is confident and funny. Gamora is serious and intelligent. Drax says whatever comes to his mind, which creates many hilarious moments. Rocket is smart but sometimes difficult to deal with. Baby Groot is innocent and adorable. Because these characters are so different from each other, their conversations are always entertaining. Even when they argue, the scene remains enjoyable because the audience understands that they care about one another. I also appreciate how the movie gives every major character an important role. Nobody feels useless. Each guardians contributes something valuable to the story. This makes the team feel balanced and complete. Another strong point is the emotional storytelling throughout the movie. Characters deal with loneliness, family problems, regret, and personal struggles. These themes make the film feel more mature while still being fun for younger viewers. The movie also contains several memorable scenes that stay in the audience mind long after the credits roll. Some scenes are funny, some are exciting, and some are deeply emotional. This variety helps the movie appeal to many different types of viewers. The world building is also impressive. The galaxy feels huge and full of possibilities. Even planet looks unique and every location has its own atmosphere. This helps create a scene of adventure that keeps the audience interested from beginning to end. I think I think one reason why so many people love this movie is because it combines heart and entertainment perfectly. It can make the audience laugh 1 minute and feel emotional the next. Few movies manage to balance these elements so successfully. Even after multiple viewings, many scenes remain enjoyable because the characters are so likable and the dialogue is so entertaining. The movie rewards viewers who pay attention to the small details and characters' interactions. Overall, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a movie that proves superhero stories can be exciting, funny, enjoyable, and meaningful at the same time. It is a fantastic adventure that continues to be loved by fans around the world. Now, I would like to talk more about the performance of the characters and how they make this movie so enjoyable. The performance of Peter Quill is one of the strongest parts of the film. Throughout the story, Peter experiences happiness, excitement, confusion, anger, and sadness. The character goes through many emotionals, and the audience travels along with him. His journey feels natural and believable, which helps viewers connect with him. Gamora continues to be one of the most dependable members of the Guardians. She often acts as the voice of reason when the rest of the team is making reckless decisions. Gamora is brave, intelligent, and loyal. Her scenes with Nebula are especially important because they show a side of her character that audience had not fully seen before. Speaking of Nebula, is movie greatly improved her character. In the previous film, she mainly appeared as an enemy. However, we learn much more about her feelings and her painful past. The audience begins to understand why he behaves the way he does. This add depth makes Nebula one of the most interesting character in the movie. Then there is Drax, who provides some of the funniest moments in the entire film. His honesty creates many jokes because he says exactly what he thinks about without worrying about how others will react. Even though he is often used for comedy, the movie also gives him emotional moment that remind us of the panic cries from his past. Rocket remains one of the most entertaining characters. He is clever, talented, and fearless, but he also struggles with trust and emotional connections. The movie explores these issues in a meaningful way. As a result, Rocket becomes much more than just a funny, shocking recon. Of course, the true scene stealer is Baby Groot. Nearly every time Groot appears, he creates a memorable moment, whether he is dancing, helping the team, or simply being confused by what is happening around him. we constantly brings joy to the screen. Many fans consider Baby Groot the mascot of the movie because of this charm and innocence. One character who deserves special praise is Yondu. His story arc is one of the best in the entire Marvel universe. At first, he seems rough and intimidating, but as the story progresses, we discover the true nature. The film reveals layers of his personality that make him far more complex than expected. Another thing I appreciated is how the movie handled humor. Many modern superhero films try to be funny, but not all of them succeed. In Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, most of the jokes come naturally from the personalities of the characters. Because of this, the comedy rarely feels forced. The movie also knows when to stop joking and becoming serious. During emotional scenes, the film allows the audience to fully experience the moment instead of interpret, interpreting it with unnecessary jokes. This balance helps create a strong emotional impact. Visually, the movie remains stunning throughout its runtime. Bright colors, imaginative locations, and creative designs make every scene look unique. The filmmaker clearly wanted to create a galaxy that feels different from anything else in superhero cinema. As I continue watching, I noticed that the movie is really about identity. Many characters are trying to understand who they are and where they belong. Peter Quill searches for his roots, Nebula searches for expectations, Rocket searches for connection, and Yondu searches for redemption. These personal journey make the story much richer than a simple battle between good and evil. Because of this strong character arcs, emotional theme, and entertaining action scene, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 remains one of the most loved movies in Marvel franchise. It's a film that understands the importance of both spectacle and heart, delivering a experience that is exciting, funny, and deeply emotional at the same time. Now, I want to talk about some of the deeper themes and messages hidden inside Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. At first, the movie may look like a simple space adventure filled with action, comedy, and colorful characters. However, when we look closely, we can see that the story explores many important ideas about life and relationships. One of the biggest themes in the movie is family. Almost every major character struggles with some kind of family issue. Peter Quill wants to understand his father. Gamora and Nebula try to deal with the pain of their childhood. Yondu has his own connection with Peter. Because so many characters face family problems, the movie constantly asks an important question: what truly makes a family? The answer given by the film is simple but powerful. Family is not only about blood relationships, family is about the people who care for you, protect you, and stand beside you when life becomes difficult. This message makes the story relatable for many viewers. Another major theme is identity. Throughout the movie, Several characters are searching for who they really are. Peter Quill believes that learning about his father will help him understand himself. He thinks that discovering his origins will finally give him answers. However, the movie teaches that our identity is not decided only by where we come from. Instead, it is shaped by our choices, actions, and the people we choose to become. This lesson is one of the most meaningful parts of the story. The film also explores loneliness. Characters like Crockett often act though and independent, but deep inside they fear belong rejected or ab- abandoned. Rocket hides his emotions behind jokes, anger, and sarcasm. As the story progresses, we learn that many of this action comes from insecurity. Because of this, Rocket becomes a surprisingly emotional character. Many viewers can relate to his fear of getting close to others. The movies show that building relationships requires trust and vulnerability, even when it feels uncomfortable. Another important theme is forgiveness. The relationship between Gamora and Nebula is filled with years of pain and resentment. Both characters have reason to be angry, but the movie suggested that holding on to hate only causes more suffering. As they begin to understand each other, they slowly move toward forgiveness. The journey is not easy, but it feels realistic. This makes this story one of the most emotional, satisfying parts of the movie. The movie also talks about power. Many stories show power as something exciting and desirable. However, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 ask whether unlimited power is actually a good thing. So, through its story, the film suggests the power without love, compassion, and responsibility can become dangerous. One thing I admire about the movie is how it delivers these messages without feeling like a lesson. The themes are naturally woven into the story through the character and their experience. As a result, we will learn important ideas while still enjoying an entertaining adventure. The emotional moments become stronger because they are connected to universal human experiences. Most people understand what it feels like to search or expectness expectance, struggle with family problems, or want to belong somewhere. This emotional honesty helps the movie connect with audience around the world. Even years after it release, many fans continue to discuss these themes because they remain relevant. The film proves that superhero movies can be more than just action and special effects. They can also tell meaningful stories about real emotional and human relationship. For this reason, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 stands out as one of the most heartfelt and entries in the Marvel Universe. It combines humor, adventure, emotion, and important life lesson into one forgettable experiences. Now I would like to talk about the cinematography, music, visuals, and how Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 fits into the larger Marvel universe. One of the first things that viewers notice while watching this movie is how beautiful it looks. From the opening scene to the final moments, the film is filled with bright colors, creative locations, and impressive visual effects. Every planet feels different and very an environment has its own unique style. Unlike many superhero movies that use dark colors and serious tones, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 embrace a colorful and energetic look. This gives the movie its own identity and helps it stand out from other Marvel films. The cinematography is excellent throughout the movie. Many shots are carefully designed to make the galaxy feel hug and magical. Whether the camera is showing a massive spaceship, a strange alien world, or a quiet emotional moment between characters, the visual always help tell the story. The action scenes are also filmed very well. The camera movement makes battle exciting without becoming confusing. Viewers can easily understand what is happening during the fights, which makes the action more enjoyable. Another major strength of the movie is its music. The Guardians movies are famous for their soundtrack, and Volume 2 continue the traditional perfectly. The songs are not randomly chosen. Instead, they help create emotion, build atmosphere, and make scenes more memorable. Many of the songs come from older decades, giving the movie a unique personality. The music feels connected to Peter Quill because these songs remind him of his childhood and his connection to Earth. This makes the soundtrack feel important to the story rather than just background entertainment. There are moments when the music creates excitement during action scene, and there are also moments when it adds emotional depth to quieter scenes. Because of this, the soundtrack becomes one of the most memorable aspects of the entire movie. The visual cre- creativity of the film deserves special praise. The filmmakers clearly wanted audience to see things they had never seen before. Strange creatures, advanced technology, and imaginative planets help create a galaxy that feels alive and full of possibilities. Another interesting aspect of the movie is its connection to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While the story mainly focuses on the Guardians themselves, it also helps expand the cosmic side of Marvel. Before the Guardians movies, much of the Marvel universe focused on Earth based heroes. However, films like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 show audience that the universe is much larger than Earth alone. There are countless planets, civilizations, and mysterious waiting to be explored. This expansion of the Marvel Universe makes future stories feel very more exciting. It opens the door for new adventure and introduce ideas that become important later in the franchise. I also appreciate how the movie takes risk instead of simply repeating the formula of the first film. It focuses more on character development and emotional storytelling. This decision helps the movie feel fresh and meaningful. Some superhero sequel only about action, but it it's different version of positive A positive reaction is that the movie gives viewers something different from a typical superhero film. Instead of focusing only on battles and villains, it spent time exploring relationships, emotions, and personal growth. This makes the story feel more meaningful and memorable. Many fans especially appreciate how much attention was given to the characters. By the end of the movie, viewers understand Peter Quill, Gamora, Nebula, Rocket, Drax, Yondu, Baby Groot much better than before. One of the reasons the Guardians became so popular is that they feel different from many other superhero teams. They are not perfect heroes, they make mistakes, argue with each other, and sometimes create their own problems. Yet, despite their flaws, they continue to support one another when it matters most. This makes them feel more human and relatable, even though they travel through space and fight powerful enemies. Another reason the movie remains popular it is its emotional impact. Many viewers expected a action-packed adventure, but they were surprised by how emotional the story became. Several scenes leave a strong impression because they focus on relationships and personal sacrifices. The film also contains many memorable moments that fans continue to discuss years later. Some scenes are known for their humor, while others are remembered for their emotional power. This balance helps the movie appeal to a wide audience. The comedy remains one of the film's greatest strengths. The jokes often come naturally from the personalities of the characters. Rex provides many funny moments through his honesty. Rocket delivers sharp comments, and Baby Groot creates humor simply through his actions and expressions. Because because the comedy feels natural, the movie remains entertaining even during repeat viewings. Many fans enjoy watching it multiple times because they continue discovering small details and jokes they missed before. Another important part of the movie's success is its emotional sincerity. Even though the historic contains aliens, spaceships, and incredible powers, the emotions feel real. The character experience loneliness, fear, regret, hope, and love, feeling that audience understand regardless of age or background. The movie also strengthens the cosmic side of the Marvel universe. It shows that Marvel stories could explore strange word, words and unusual characters while still maintaining strong emotional storytelling. Because of this, the Guardians became some of the most beloved character in the entire Marvel cinematic universe. Many fans who had never heard of these characters before the first movie quickly become attached to them. Looking back today, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is often remembered as one of Marvel's most emotional films. While some Marvel movies focus on large scale threats and epic battles, this movie focus on the people behind the adventure. That focus on character relationships is what gives the film its lasting legacy. The movie reminds us that friendship, family, forgiveness, and love are just as important and strength and powerful. Even years after it released, the fans continue to recommend the movie to new viewers because it offers something special. It combines action, humor, emotion, music, and heart into a single unforgettable experience. For many people, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is not just another Marvel movie. It is a story about finding your place in the universe and discovering the people who truly matter in your life. As I come to the end of my review, I want to share final thought about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. After watching this movie, I felt that it was much more than a superhero adventure. It is a film that entertains the audience while also delivering powerful emotions and meaningful messages. Few movies are able to balance action, comedy, emotion, and character development as successfully as this one. The movie takes us one. The movie takes us on an incredible journey across the galaxy. Along the way, we see amazing planets, exciting battles, funny moments, and emotional relationships. But what truly makes the film special is its focus on the characters. Every members of the Guardians grow during the story. Peter Quill learns important truth about family and identity. Gamora and Nebula being handling the wounds of their past. Rocket slowly opens himself to friendship and trust. Drax continues to provide humor while also showing emotional depth. Baby Groot brings joy and innocence to the team, and Yondu experiences one of the most powerful character journey in the entire movie. What I admire most is that the film never forgets its emotional core. Even during large action scenes and spectacular visual moments, the story always returns to characters and their relationships. This helps the audience stay emotionally connected throughout the movie. The soundtrack deserves special appreciation. The songs perfectly match the tune of the film and help create many forgettable scenes. Combined with the colorful visuals, the music gives the movie a unique personality that separates it from other superhero films. The movie also teaches several valuable lessons. It reminds us that family is not always defined by blood. True family consists of the people who support us, protect us, and care about us when we need them the most. It teaches us about forgiveness, trust, sacrifice, and the importance of the accepting other despite their flaws. Another reason I enjoy this movie is because it feels hopeful even though even though the characters face difficult challenges, they continue to move forward. They make mistakes, learn from them, and become better people. This positive message makes the story inspiring as well as entertaining. From a technical perspective, the movie is very strong. The direction, visual effects, cinematography, music, and performance all work together to create a memorable experience. The filmmaker clearly cared about both the spectacle and the emotional storytelling. If someone asks me why they should watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I would say that it offers something for everyone. Fans of action will enjoy the exciting battles. Fans of comedy will enjoy the humor. Fans of emotional stories will appreciate the character relationships. And Marvel fans will enjoy seeing the Guardians continue their journey through the cosmic side of the universe. Even after the movie ends, it, its message remain with the audience. The story encourages us to value our relationship, appreciated the people who care about us, and understands that our choices define who we are. So overall, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is a heartwarming, exciting, funny, emotional, and visually stunning adventure. It is one of the most unique films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and a movie that many fans continue to love years after its release. And with that, my review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes to an end. After the events of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Guardians continue traveling through space and tracking on new adventures. The team now consists of Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Groot, and Mantis. After everything they experienced together, they have become more united as a family. However, a new danger is rising in the universe. A powerful villain named Thanos is searching for the Infinity Stones. These stones contain incredible power, and Thanos believes that collecting all of them will allow him to change the fate of the universe. Unknown to the Guardians, this threat is much bigger than anything they have faced before. While traveling through space, they receive signs that something terrible is happening across different worlds. At the same time, heroes from Earth such as Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, and Doctor Strange are also beginning to face the threat of thrones. Some shown the path of Guardians and the Avengers will cross. Their meeting will lead one of the biggest battle in the Marvel story. As the Guardians continue their journey through space, they have no idea that the entire universe is moving toward a massive crisis. The event of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 may be over, but the challenges facing the team are far from finished. After becoming a strong family, Peter Quill, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Groot, and Mantis spent their time traveling through different parts of the galaxy. They continue helping people, tracking missions, and trying to keep peace whenever they can. However, strange events are beginning to occur across the universe. Entire civilization are becoming threatened by stories of a powerful warlord named Thanos. Many people escape of him with fear because whenever he goes, destruction follows. Unlike ordinary villains, Thanos does not seek power simply or personal gain. He believes that his actions and are necessary to save the universe. This belief makes him even more dangerous because he is willing to sacrifice anything to achieve his goal. Meanwhile, Gamora becomes increasingly worried whenever the name of Thanos is mentioned. Unlike most people, she know him personally. Her past is deeply connected to him, and she understands how powerful and ruthless he can be. As the Guardians continue their adventures, they began hearing more rumors about the Infinity Stones. These mysterious object possess incredible power. Each stone controls a different aspect of reality, and together they could give someone nearly unlimited abilities. The possibility of thorns collecting these stones create fear throughout the galaxy. Many believe that if he succeeds, no force in universe will be able to stop him. At the same time, on Earth, several heroes are facing their own challenges. The Avengers are no longer completely united. Internal conflicts have created divisions among them. Because of this, mi- Earth, Earth-mitized heroes may not be fully prepared for the threat that is coming. What makes the situation even more dangerous is that Thanos is not ta- targeting just one planet. His plans affect the entire universe. Every word, every civilization, and every living being could be impacted by his actions. As tension grows, the Guardians announcing move closer to becoming part of a much larger battle. Their adventures are no longer isolated stories happening in one corner of the galaxy. Instead, they are becoming connected to a conflict that will involve heroes from many different worlds. The movie also brings setting up exciting new relationships between characters who have never met before. Fans know that if the Guardians actually meet the Avengers, they will be very funny, exciting, and unforgettable moments. Just imagining Peter Quill and interacting with heroes like Tony Stark create excitement. Both characters are confident, funny, and enjoy being the central of the attention. Their personalities are very different, the strangely similar at the same time. Manuel, Rocket, and Groot are distant of adventures that will test their friendship and courage like never before. The experience they face is the coming battles will push them beyond their limits. The Guardians have already survived dangerous missions, powerful enemies, and personal struggles, but the challenge is indifferent. This time, the future of the entire universe may depend on the choices they make as the story moves toward Avengers Infinity War. Audience can feel the scale of the adventure becoming larger and larger. What began as the story of a small group of unlikely heroes is evolving into an epic saga involving nearly every major hero in the Marvel Universe. The Guardians do not yet know exactly what awaits them, but one thing is certain: their greatest battle is about to be being began, and nothing in the universe will ever be the same again. Now the story moves directly toward Avengers Infinity War. The movie begins with a dark and serious atmosphere. Unlike many Marvel movies that start with fun and excitement, Infinity War immediately show that a young ranger has survived. One of the biggest parts of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is its music. Just like the first movie, the soundtrack plays a very important role in the story. The songs are not used only as background music, they help create emotions. make scene more memorable and give the movie its unique identity. Many fans believe that the music is one of the biggest reason why the Guardians movies feel different from other superhero films. In the movie, Peter Quill cries a collection of old songs that remind him of his connection on Earth and his mother. Because of this, the music feels personal and emotional rather than random. The soundtrack is called Awesome Max Volume 2. It contains many classic songs from the 1970th century and earlier decades. These songs match perfectly with the movie's Avengers and emotional tone. Some famous songs featured in the movie include one of the most memorable musical moments happens during the opening scene. While a big battle is taking place, baby Groot is dancing happily. This creates a full contrast between the action happening in the background and Groot's innocent behavior. Another important song, this song is connected to the movie's themes of family and relationship. The lyrics and emotion of the song fit perfectly with the story and make several scenes more powerful. The music also helps balance the movie's different moods. During funny scene, the song make the comedy stronger. During emotional scene, they increase the emotional impact. During action scene, they add excitement and energy because of its excellent song selection. Many fans listen to the soundtrack even without watching the movie. The movie has become almost as popular as the film itself. Overall, the soundtrack of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is not just background music, it is an important part of the storytelling and one of the main reasons why the movie remains so memorable and enjoyable. Continue with the music of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I think I think the soundtrack is one of the reasons why the movie feels so special. Many superhero movies have good background music, but Guardians uses actually songs in a way that becomes part of the story itself. The songs are carefully chosen so that they match the emotions of the character and the events happening on screen. When we watch Peter Quill listening to music, it feels natural because music is an important part of his life. The songs remind him on earth, his childhood, and especially his mother. Because of this connection, every song carries emotional value. One thing I really like is how the movie uses music during action scene. Normally, action scene depend only on explosion and fights to create excitement. In Guardians Volume 2, the songs add extra energy and personality. As a result, the action becomes more entertaining and memorable. The soundtrack also helps create the identity of the Guardians team. When people hear certain songs from the movie, they immediately think about the Guardians. Very few movie franchises have such a strong connection between their characters and their music. Another impressive thing is the variety of songs. Some tracks are fun and energetic, while others are emotional and meaningful. This variety helps the movie move smoothly between comedy, adventure, and drama. The emotional scenes become even stronger because of the music. Sometimes a simple conversation feels much more powerful than the fight than When the right song is playing in the background, the soundtrack helps the audience feel what the characters are experiencing. The filmmaker clearly understood that music can tell a story just like dialogue and visuals. Instead of treating songs as background noise, they made them an important storytelling tool. Many fans consider Ocean Mix Volume 2 one of the best movie soundtrack in modern cinema. Even years after the movie release, how people still listen to this song because they remind them of the adventure humor or and emotions of the film. Another reason the soundtrack works so well is nostalgia. The classic songs create a warm feeling and help the movie stand out from the modern superhero film. They give the story a unique atmosphere that audiences remember long after the movie ends. When I think about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I do not remember only the action scene or the visual effects. I also remember the music because it plays such an important role in creating the movie personality. Overall, the soundtrack is not just on one part of the movie, it is one of the main reasons why the film feels exciting, emotional, and unforgettable. The music helps transform a great superhero adventure into a truly unique cinematic experience. Now, I would like to talk about how species songs make credence in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 even more memorable. The movie begins with one of the most famous opening in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. While a hug battle is taking place in the background, Baby Groot is dancing and enjoying himself. This scene immediately tells the audience that the movie will be colorful, funny, and different from the most superhero films. As the story continues, music is used to highlight the bond between Peter Quill and his memories of Earth. The songs connect him to his past and remind him to the family he lost. Because of this, the soundtrack becomes part of Peter's emotional journey. One of the most powerful songs in the movie is important. This song is closely connected to the theme of family. The message of staying together despite difficulties matches the journey of the Guardians perfectly. When the song plays, it gives extra emotional strength to the scene and reminds the audience how important the theme is to one another. Instead of simply being background music is actually supports the storytelling and helps the audience understand characters motivation. What makes this song special is that they never feel forced. They fit naturally into the scene and help create emotions that dialogue alone could not fully express. Sometimes a song can communicate feelings more effectively than words. The soundtrack also creates contrast during serious situations. A cheerful song from Ocean Mix Volume 2. However, the background score is also extremely important. While the song provide personality and nostalgia, the background score helps create tension, excitement, wonder, and emotion throughout the film. During action scene, the score makes bat, battles feel larger and more intense. During emotional moments, it quietly supports the characters and helps the audience connect with their feelings. Good background music often works without people noticing it, and this movie uses it very effectively. One reason the movie works so well is because it understands the tune of the film. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is funny, emotional, adventures, and sometimes surprisingly serious. The score adapts to each of these moods and helps the story flow smoothly from one scene to another. Another important aspect is how soundtrack and score work together. In many movies, song and background music feel completely spared. In Guardians Volume 2, they feel connected together, they create a musical identity that is unique to the Guardians franchise. The success of the soundtrack had a hug effect on the popularity of the movie. Many fans discovered classic songs through Guardians. Some younger viewers heard these tracks of the first time because of the film, while older viewers enjoy hearing familiar music in a modern superhero adventure. Because of this, the movie helped introduce classic music to a new generation of audience. Few superheroes films have had such a strong cultural influence through their soundtrack. The music also play a major role in the emotional storytelling. Whenever Peter Quill listened to these songs, the audience it reminded of the connection to Earth and to his mother. This emotional link makes the soundtrack feel personal rather than simply entertaining. Another reason the soundtrack remains popular is replay value. Many movie soundtracks are forgotten after people leave the theater. The songs from Guardians Volume 2 continue to be listened to years later. Fans often create playlists, revisit their favorite tracks, and remember specific scene whether they hear them. The soundtrack has become so closely connected to the Guardians that it is difficult to imagine the franchise without it. The music is not just an extra feature, it's part of the what makes the Guardians unique among Marvel heroes. Even today, when fans rank the best soundtrack as superhero cinema, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is usually mentioned near the top. This shows how successful the filmmaker were in combined music and storytelling. In the end, the soundtrack and background score help transform the movie into something more than a normal superhero adventure. They add personality, emotion, energy, and heart to every part of the story. That is why the music of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 remains one of the most beloved and memorable aspects of the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Long after people forget certain action scene, they still remember the songs, the emotions they create, and a special feeling they brought to the movie. The movie starts many years before the main events. We see a man named Ego and a woman named Meredith Quill driving together on Earth. They look very happy. Ego tells Meredith Quill that he likes this planet very much. They spend some beautiful moments together. At the at that time, we do not know much about Ego, but it is clear that he is not an ordinary person. After this short scene, the story jumps to the present time. Now we meet the famous team called the Guardians of the Galaxy. The team includes Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Baby Groot. The Guardians are working for a powerful race called the Sovereign. The Sovereign people are very proud of themselves and believe they are better than anyone else. They ask the Guardians to protect some very important batteries from a giant space monster. Soon the monster attacks, a big fight begins. While the other Guardians are fighting with full effort, little Groot is dancing to music and enjoying himself. This creates many funny moments. Even though the battle is dangerous, the movie keeps a light and fun mood. After a difficult fight, the Guardians finally defeat the monster. The Sovereign are very happy because their batteries are safe. As payment, they give the Guardians a prisoner named Nebula. Nebula is the sister of Gamora. However, the two sisters have a painful history. They grew up under the control of Thanos, one of the most feared villain in the galaxy. Because of their past, there is a lot of anger and tension between them. The Guardians live with Nebula and start traveling through space. Everything seems normal, but a serious problem is about to happen. Rocket secretly steals some valuable batteries from the Sovereign. He does this because he like thinking he liked tracking things and does not care much about rules. When the sovereign discover the theft, they become extremely angry. They immediately send a fight, large fleet of ship to destroy the Guardians. Soon the Guardians find themselves in danger, chased through space. Enemy ships attack from every direction. Largers are flying everywhere. The Guardians try their best to escape, but the situation becomes more and more difficult. Their ship receives heavy damage, and it looks like they might not survive. Then something unexpected happens. A mysterious ship suddenly appears. This unknown ship attacks the Sovereign fleet and destroys ship after ship with incredible power. Within moments, all the enemy ships are gone. The Guardians are shocked. They have no idea who helped them. After escaping the attack, their ship crashes on a nearby planet. While they are trying to repair the damage, they finally meet the person who saved them. The man introduces himself as Zigo. He is accompanied by a strange but friendly being named Mantis. Mantis has special abilities. She is feel the emotions of other people simply by touching them. Hugo looks directly at Peter Quill and says that he has been searching for him for a very long time. Everyone becomes curious. Then Ego reveals a hug secret. He tells Peter Quill that he is not just a normal human. He says that he is Peter's father. This revelation completely shocks Peter Quill. For his entire life, Peter wanted to know who his father was. Now, after so many years, the answer is standing right in front of him. At first, Peter Quill cannot believe it. Gamora and Drax are also suspicious. They do not know whether Ego is telling the truth or hiding something. But Ego explains that he has traveled across the galaxy for many years searching for his son. He says that he finally found Peter Quill and wants to spend time with him. For the first time in his life, Peter Quill feels excited and hopeful. He thinks he may finally learn the truth about his family and his past. So Peter, Quill, Gamora, Drax decide to go with Ego and Mantis to see Ego mysterious planet. Little do they know that this journey is going to change their lives forever. Now Peter, Quill, Gamora and Drax travel with Ego and Mantis to Ego planet. As soon they arrive, they are amazed. The planet looks beautiful. There are green fields, rivers, mountains, and colorful lights everywhere. Everything seems peaceful and perfect. Ego welcomes them warmly. He tells Peter Quill that his entire planet is actually a part of himself. At first, this sounds impossible, but Ego explains that he is celestial, a very powerful being who has existed for millions of years. According to Ego, he started a small form of energy. Over time, he learned how to create matter and slowly build the entire planet around himself. He spent countless years alone in space, learning and growing stronger. Meanwhile, back on damaged Guardian's ship, Rocket stay behind the Groot to repair the ship and watch over Nebula. At first, everything is quiet, but Nebula manages to escape. She attacks Rocket and creates chaos on the ship. During the fight, both of them crash into a forest area on the planet. At the same time, another group is searching for the Guardians. This group is called the Revengers. Their leader is Yondu. The Revengers receive a job from the Soravian. The Soravian want revenge against the Guardians and offer a large reward. Because of this, Yondu and his team being hunting for them. However, not everyone in the Revengers is happy with Yondu. Many members believe he has become weak. They think he cares too much about Peter Quill and often lets him escape. On Revenger named Taserface becomes especially angry. He starts a mutiny, which means a rebellion against the leader. Soon Yondu is betrayed by his own crew. Taserface and his supporters take control of the ship. They capture Yondu and lock him in a prison cell. They also capture Rocket and Groot after finding them. Now Yondu, Rocket and Groot are prisoners together. Back on Ego's planet, Peter Quill is having the best time of his life. 1 year he dreamed about meeting his father, and now he finally getting answer. Ego teaches him about his special powers. He explains that because Peter is part celestial, he has abilities hidden inside him. To prove it, Ego asks Peter to focus his mind. Suddenly, energy begins to flow through Peter's body. Bright light appears around his hand. For the first time, Peter realizes that he can control powerful energy. He becomes excited. He and Ego spend time together, throwing energy bells and practicing their powers. Peter feels closer to his father than ever before. While this is happening, Drax become friends with Mantis. Their conversations create many funny moments in the movie. But behind all the jokes, Mantis is hiding something. Whenever he looks at Ego, she seems nervous and frightened. It's clear that she knows a secret but is afraid to talk about it. One day, Gamora notices strange structures on the planet. He becomes suspicious. The more she explores, the more comfortable she feels. At the same time, Nebula finally finds Gamora. Filled with years of anger, Nebula attacks her sister. A fire fight began between them. During the fight, Nebula reveals how much pain he suffered under Thanos. Every time she lost a battle against Gamora as a child, Thanos replaced parts of her body with machines. For many years, Nebula blamed Gamora for her suffering, but now, for the first time, both sisters openly talk about their feelings. The conversation is emotional and honest. Slowly, they begin to understand each other. Meanwhile, on the Ryuger ship, Groot starts a mission to rescue Yondu and Rocket. Because he is still very small, he keeps bringing the wrong item and creating funny situation. But eventually, Groot finds what they need. As soon Yondu is ready to take back control on his ship. At the same time, Mantis finally reveals a terrifying truth about Hugo. The man who claims to be a loving father is hiding something very dark. Now the story becomes much more serious. On Ego Planet, Peter Quill is still enjoying his time with his father. He believes that he has finally found the family he always wanted. However, Mantis can no longer keep the secret inside her. One day, while talking with Drax, she becomes very emotional. She accidentally reveals that Ego has a terrible plan. Before she can explain everything, Ego suddenly arrives. At first, Peter Quill defends his father. He trusts him completely, but then Ego decides to tell Peter the truth. Ego explains that for billions of years he has traveled across the galaxy. During those years, he planted special seeds on thousands of planets. His goal is something he calls the expansion. According to Ego, he wants to spread himself across the entire universe. He wants every planet, every world, and every living place to become a part of him. To complete this plan, he needs the help of another Castiel. The person is Peter Quill. Ego tells Peter that together they can reshape the universe and control unimaginable power. At first, Peter is interested. The idea sounds exciting, but then Ego makes a shocking confession. He calmly explained that years ago he truly loved Meredith Quill, Peter's mother. However, he believed that his love for her could distract him for his great mission. So he made a terrible decision. Ego admits that he was responsible for the illness that killed Meredith Quill. The moment Peter hears this, everything changes. For his entire life, Peter loved his mother more than anyone else. Now he learns that the person standing in front of him caused her death. Peter becomes furious. Without thinking for a second, he pulls out his blasters and starts shooting at Trigo. The relationship between father and son is destroying instantly. A massive battle begins, but Ego is incredibly powerful. Since the entire planet is part of him, he can control almost everything around him. He quickly defeats Peter and captures him. Meanwhile, Gamora and Nebula discovers a horrifying area deep inside the planet. There they find the remains of many children Nebula realizes the terrible truth. For many years, Ego traveled to different planets and had children with many women. He searched for a child who could inherit his celestial powers. When a child filled, Ego simply got rid of them. Thousands of innocent children lost their lives because of his selfish ambition. He does not want to help Ego, but she is too scared to disobey him. Back on Revagar ship, Yondu, Rocket and Groot finally escape from prison. Now it's time for revenge. Using his famous flying arrow, Yondu attacks the Revengers who betrayed him. The arrow moves through the air in incredible speed. It flies through hallways, rooms, and corridors, defeating enemy after enemy. This becomes one of the most exciting scenes in the movie. While the arrow is flying everywhere, Rocket and Groot help Yondu regain control. Soon the three heroes successfully track back the ship. However, Treasureface manages to send a emergency message to the Chevron before he dies. Now the Chevron know exactly where the Guardians are. A hug new threat is coming. Meanwhile, on Ego Planet, Peter remains trapped. Ego starts using Peter's celestial energy to active the expansion across the galaxy. The strange energy starts rising from the seeds that Ego planet long ago. Entire planets are now in danger. If Ego succeeds, countless lives will be destroyed. The universe itself could change forever. Just when it seems that all hope is lost, a familiar ship appears in the sky. Yondu, Rocket, and Groot has arrived to save their friends, and the final battle against Ego is about to begin. Now the final battle is about to begin. Yondu, Rocket, and Groot arrive on Ego's planet and quickly join the fight. They know that if Ego is not stopped, billions of innocent lives across the galaxy could be lost. At the same time, Peter Quill is still connected to Ego's power. Ego tries to convince Peter on last time to join him. He tells Peter that together they can become more powerful than anyone else in the universe. But Peter refuses. He remembers his mother, Meredith Quill. He remembers the people he loves and the friends who have always stood beside him. Peter finally understands something important. A real family is not only the people who are related by blood. A real family is the people who care about you and stay with you during difficult times. Using all his strength, Peter Quill breaks free from ego control. Soon all the Guardians come together. Gamora, Drax, Rocket, Groot, Nebula, Yondu, and Mantis works as one team. Everyone plays an important role. Mantis uses his special abilities, make Ego sleepy and weaken his focus. Rocket prepares a powerful bomb and creates a plan to destroy Ego from the inside. Groot is given the dangerous task of carrying the bomb to the planet's core. Even though he is very small, Groot bravery accepts the mission. The team discover that Deep inside the planet, there is a growing brain like core. This core is true source of ego life and power. Is if the core is destroyed, ego will die. While Rocket and Groot move toward the core, Peter Quill stay behind the fight ego directly. A hug battle takes place across the planet because Peter is half castial. He can temporarily use incredible powers. He creates giant energy structures and fight his father with everything he has. The battle is exciting and full of action. For the first time, Ego realizes that Peter is strong enough to challenge him. Meanwhile, Gamora and Nebula continue working together. Earlier in the movie, they were enemies, but now they are slowly becoming sister again. Their relationship began to heal after years of pain and anger. As the fight continued, Rocket successfully placed the bomb near Ego Core. Now there is only one thing left to do. Everyone must escape from before the bomb explodes. The countdown begins. The Guardians rush toward their ship and as fast as possible. Behind them, the entire planet starts shaking. Her explosion appear everywhere. Pieces of the planet being breaking apart. Ego is losing control. His power grows weaker every second. Finally, the bomb explodes. A massive blast destroys the core. The planet begins collapsing completely. And with the destruction of the core, ego starts disappearing forever. However, the danger is not over yet. The Guardians still need to escape from the exploding planet before it is too late. Now the entire planet is collapsing. Hug explosions are happening everywhere. Mountains are breaking apart. The ground is cracking. The massive pieces of planet are flying through space. The Guardians run as fast as they can toward their ship. Peter Quill is becoming weaker because ego power is disappearing. Since the source of Castiel abilities is being destroyed, Peter slowly loses those special powers. Meanwhile, Rocket, Groot, Groma, Drax, Nebula, and Mantis manage to reach the ship. But there is a problem. Peter Quill is still trapped far away from them. Without wasting any time, Yondu goes back to save him. Though I thought the situation is extremely dangerous, Yondu refuses to leave Peter behind. Soon Yondu finds Peter Quill and refuses him. Together they escape from the collapsing planet in a small spacecraft. For a moment, it looks like everything will be fine, but then another problem appears. The spacecraft has only one spacesuit. There is not enough protection for both of them. If they enter open space without a suit, one of them will not survive. Peter Quill does not realize that this at first, but Yondu already know. Quietly, Yondu places the only spacesuit on Peter. Peter becomes confused and asks what he is doing. Then Yondu tells him something very important. He explains that Hugo may have been Peter's father, but he was never his true dad. Yondu says that he was the one who raised Peter, protected him, and cared of him for all those years. He tells Peter, he may have been your father, boy, but he was not your daddy. These words deeply affect Peter Quill. For the first time, he fully understands how much Yondu loved him. A few moments later, the spacecraft breaks apart. Yondu pushes Peter to safety. Peter survived because he was wearing the suit, but Yondu is exposed to space as Peter watches helplessly. Yondu sacrifices him to save him. It is one of the most emotional moments in the entire movie. Peter is heartbroken. The Guardians bring Yondu back to their ship, but it is too late. The man who protected Peter for most of his life is gone. Everyone becomes silent. The rocket, who usually hides his feeling, is deeply affected. Later, the Guardians prepare a funeral for Yondu. At first, Peter worries that no one will come because many Rev dislike Yondu, but something as unexpected happens. Ships from Revgar groups all across the galaxy being arriving. The sky fills with light. Many Revgers have come to honor Yondu and show their respect. A beautiful funeral ceremony begins. Colorful lights and fireworks fill space as everyone say goodbye. Peter watches proudly. He finally understands that Yondu was not just a ravager, he was a hero. The movie then ends on a hopeful note. Nebula decides to live a continue her own journey, but her relationship with Gamora is much better than before. Mantis chooses to stay with the Guardians. The team has changed forever, but they are still together, and Peter Quill finally realizes that the family he was searching for was with him all along. This is how Guardians of Galaxy Volume 2 ends, with action, emotion, friendship, sacrifice, and the true meaning of family. Now that the story is complete, I want to talk about some important things from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. One of the biggest messages of this movie is family. In the beginning, Peter Quill believes that finding, finding this real father will make his life complete. When he meets Ego, he becomes very happy because he thinks his dream has come true. But as the story moves forward, Peter learns an important lesson. A father is not always the person who gives you life. A real parent is the person who supports you, protects you, and stay with you during difficult times. That is why Yondu becomes one of the most important characters in the movie. Throughout the film, Yondu may look strict, but deep inside, he truly cares about Peter Quill. In the end, he gives his own life to save Peter. This sacrifice makes Yondu one of the most emotional and memorable characters in the movie. Another important part of the film is the relationship between Gamora and Nebula. At the start, they hate each other and cry years of anger and pain. However, as they talk honestly about their past, they begin to understand each other's feeling. This shows that communication and understanding can help heal old wounds. The movie also gives many funny moments through Drax and Mantis. Drax say whatever comes to his mind, and his conversation with Mantis create a lot of comedy. At the same time, Rocket gets important character development. Although he acts rude and pushes people away, he learns that he feels lonely and afraid of losing the people he loves. By the end of the movie, Rocket starts accepting that the Guardians are his family. The movie also has amazing music. Many songs play during important scenes and make the emotional moment even stronger. The action scene visually effects, humor, and emotional story work together very well. Because of this, many fans consider Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 one of the most emotional movies in the Marvel Universe. The ending especially leaves a strong impact because it reminds us that love, friendship, and family are more important than power, and that is one of the biggest reason why people still remember this movie today. Now, I want to share some interesting thing about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. One special thing about this movie is Baby Groot. In the previous movie, Groot sacrificed himself to save his friend. After then sacrifice a new baby, Groot was born. Because of this, baby Groot quickly became one of the most loved character in the movie. Every, every though he speak very little, his actions make many scene funny and memorable. Another interesting character is Mantis. At first, Mantis looks shy and quiet. She does not have much confidence, but as the story continues, she becomes an important member of the team. Her ability to feel emotion helps the Guardians many times during the movie. The movie also explores the characters of Rocket in greater details. Before this film, many people saw Rocket as only a funny character, but this movie shows that he carries emotional pain inside him because he feels different from everyone else. He often pushes people away before they can hurt him. This makes Rocket one of the deepest character in the story. The relationship between Peter Quill and Hugo is another important part of the film. At first, it feels like a dream come true. Peter finally finds the father he always wanted, but later he discovers that Hugo only cares about his own goals. This teaches an important lesson. Not every person who seems perfect is actually good. Sometimes the people who truly care about us are the ones we do not notice at first. That is exactly what happiness with Yondu. For years, Peter thought Yondu was only a ravager, but by the end of the movie, Peter realizes that Yondu loved him like a son. The funeral scene of Yondu is considered one of the most emotional moments in the Marvel movies. When the Ravagers arrive from all over the galaxy to honor him, it becomes clear how much respect people had for him. The movie also balances action and comedy very well. Every during serious situation, characters like Drax and Groot provide funny moments that keep the movie entertaining. Another reason fans love this film is its colorful space locations. The planets, ships, and cosmic environments create a beautiful atmosphere that feels very different from many other superhero movies. In the end, Guardians of Galaxy Volume 2 is not just a movie about saving the galaxy, it is a story about family, friendship, sacrifice, forgiveness, and finding the people who truly care about you. And the emotional message is what makes the movie special even today. Now, I want to talk about why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 feels different from many other superhero movies. Most superhero movies focus mainly on saving the world, but in this movie, the biggest focus is on the characters and their relationship. For example, Peter Quill spends most of the movie trying to understand really is. He wants to know about his father and his past. This makes his journey very personal. At the same time, Gamora and Nebula are dealing with their painful childhood memories. Their story is not about fighting villains, it is about understanding each other and moving forward. Rocket is also fighting a battle inside himself. He acts confident and makes jokes, but deep down, he is afraid that people will leave him. Because of this fear, he sometimes pushes his friend away. The movie shows that even strong heroes can have emotional struggles. Another reason the movie feels special is the friendship between the guardians. They argue, make mistakes, and sometimes even fight with each other. But when danger arrives, with stand together. This makes them feel more like a real family than a perfect superhero team. One of the most lovable character is Groot. Even though baby Groot is small, he helps the team many times. His innocence and funny behavior bring happiness to the scene. The movie also uses humor very well. Drax creates many funny moments because he takes everything literally. When he talks with Mantis, the conversation becomes even funnier. This scene helps balance the serious parts of the story. The visual effects are another strong point of the movie. The colorful planets, giant space battles, and the living planet of Ego make the movie look amazing. Every location feels unique and creative. The soundtrack is also a big reason of the movie's success. Many classic songs play during important scenes. The music helps create excitement, emotion, and nostalgia. Because of these songs, many scenes become even more memorable. In the end, the movie teaches that power is not the most important thing in the life. Love, friendship, loyalty, and family are much more valuable. That is why Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is remembered not only for its action but also for its heart and emotional story. Now, I want to talk about the character development in the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. One of the biggest character changes happens with Peter Quill. At the beginning, at the beginning of the movie, Peter is excited about finding his father. For many years, he wondered who his father has and why he was never there. When ego appears, Peter feels that a important missing part of his life has finally returned. For some time, Peter enjoys being with Ego. He learns about his power and imagines a future with his father. But later, Peter discovers the truth. He learns that Ego is selfish and responsible for the death of Meredith Quill. This moment changes Peter completely. Instead of choosing power, Peter chooses his friends and family. This show that how much he has matured since the first movie. Another character who changes a lot is Rocket. Throughout the movie, Yondu notices that Rocket behave a lot like him. Both characters act though on the outside. Both make mistakes, both hide their feelings, and both are afraid of losing people they care about. Because of this, Yondu understands Rocket better than anyone else. The conversation between them help Rocket realize that he does not need to push everyone away. By the end of the movie, Rocket becomes more open about his feeling. The relationship between Gamora and Nebula also improves greatly. For years, Nebula believed that Gamora was the reason for her suffering, but when they finally talk honestly, they understand that both of them were victims of Thanos. This helps them start rebuilding their sisterly bond. Even Mantis grows as a character. At first, she is quite nervous and afraid of Ego. However, when the time comes, she chooses to help the Guardians instead of staying loyal to Ego. This takes a lot of courage. And then there is Yondu. His journey is properly the most emotional in the entire movie. At first, many people see him as a criminal and a leader, but as the story continues, we learn that he has a good heart. Years ago, he was supposed to deliver Peter Quill to Ego, but after learning what happened to Ego, other children, Yondu refused. Instead, he secretly protected Peter and raised him. This reveals that Yondu has been saving Peter's life for years without expecting any reward. His final sacrifice proves how much he loved Peter. That is what many fans consider Yondu the emotional soul of the movie. By the end of the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, almost every major character has changed, learned something important, and become a better person. And that strong character development is one of the biggest reasons why the movie is loved by so many fans. So friends, this was the story of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. This movie is not only about space adventures and action, but also about family, friendship, love and sacrifice. The story teaches us that real family is not always connected by blood, but by care, trust and support. I really enjoyed this movie because it has action, comedy, emotional and meaningful. Thank you everyone for listening to my presentation. I hope you like it. In the end, Guardians of Galaxy teaches us that true family is the people who stand with us in difficult times. Thank you everyone for listening. Have a great day. If you enjoy the video, you like my video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.